Canada, welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight. So the Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, got caught wearing blackface. And a lot of people are pretending to be very, very surprised. But are you really surprised? In fact, you probably could have guessed it, actually. It's a little like finding out that your super sensitive brother-in-law, the one who tells you he's a feminist, the one who's always scolding you for your sexism, is in fact hitting on the babysitter. But of course he's hitting on the babysitter. The virtue is always a cover for the sin. That's the key to understanding the modern left. Whatever they're accusing you of doing, they're doing themselves, but more enthusiastically. And that's definitely the story of Justin Trudeau. Like your brother-in-law with the ponytail, Trudeau brags about being a feminist. Use the wrong word in his presence and he'll launch into a self-righteous lecture. Justin Trudeau may be the most sanctimonious head of state on planet Earth. So of course he was leading a secret life as a racist. That's why he's so sanctimonious, so you won't notice. Turns out there are now at least 3 separate instances of Justin Trudeau wearing blackface. And as he conceded today, there could absolutely be more.
You left us with the impression there was only one other incident, and since then, Global News has released a video which seems to show that there was at least a 3rd incident. So exactly how many times have you darkened your skin with makeup in an act that you have yourself described as racist?
I shared the moments that I recollected, but I recognize that it is something absolutely unacceptable to do. And yeah, I appreciate calling it makeup, but it was blackface.
Unacceptable. But he did it at least 3 times, maybe more. How many times have you worn blackface? Probably right around 0. Try not to be judgy here or anything, but even adjusting for youthful indiscretion, 3 times on camera, that's a lot. It's an awful lot, actually. What's going on with Justin Trudeau? Well, it turns out, and he explained this today, that Justin Trudeau suffers from an especially virulent case of something called privilege.
I have always acknowledged that I come from a place of privilege, but I now need to acknowledge that that comes with a massive blind spot.
Got that? White privilege is the problem here. That's Trudeau's explanation. If you're not listening carefully, it might sound like Justin Trudeau just took responsibility for what he did. Oh, but no, just the opposite. He transferred it. When Trudeau blames privilege, he's moving responsibility for what he did from himself to the rest of us. In other words, I did something awful because society itself is rotten. Therefore, and this is the key, therefore, I need to keep telling you how to live your life. It's not a confession, it's a justification. And the only people dumb enough to buy it are the news media. Of course, the dumbest people in the world. Over at CNN, for example, Don Lemon was deeply impressed.
Wow, a leader apologizing, it's just, it seems odd, doesn't it? I mean, because we have one who doesn't, but he says, he didn't think it was racist at the time. Now he knows better. What do you think of that? But I do have to say this before we go. Think about it however you want to think about it. When someone apologizes, wow. We don't often see that here, especially a world leader who's saying, I should have known better and I'm sorry. You can feel about it however you want, but that, to me, that does mean a lot. I got to go. Thank you.
It means a lot to Don Lemon. It really does. What a difference a year makes. If you can remember back all the way back to when Megyn Kelly of NBC found herself under attack in pretty much the same way, the difference was that Megyn Kelly never wore blackface. She wouldn't do that. She's not Justin Trudeau. She just made the mistake of not seeming quite offended enough in a TV segment by certain Halloween costumes. For that crime, Don Lemon told us she must be destroyed.
I'm going to be honest. Megyn is 47 years old. She's our age. There has never been a time in her 47 years that blackface has been acceptable. I wonder how much diversity she has on her staff. I don't know. I'm not there. But I would imagine there is not a lot because people would have informed her. This is what people of the larger culture don't understand about racism and about privilege.
Keep in mind, and this is universally true. It was true of Jimmy Swaggart. It's true of Justin Trudeau, and probably true of Don Lemon. The more sanctimonious you are, the more you're hiding. You want to know who's up to no good? Look at the people who are tugging their chin and, ooh, I would never do that. And yet suddenly Don Lemon went from that, I wonder how much diversity she has on her staff, to, oh, I'm so glad that Justin said sorry. Did Don Lemon have a change of heart? Is he now a forgiving man? Or could it be that because Justin Trudeau is a powerful leader on the left, he gets a pass no matter what he does? I think you know the answer because, of course, you've seen it before. Earlier this year, the governor of Virginia, Ralph Northam, was caught wearing blackface. Actually, maybe it was a Klan hood. He still won't tell us which it was. But whatever it was he was wearing, blackface or a Klan hood, Northam, a liberal Democrat, decided he didn't need to resign over it. The left pretended to care for a few minutes. Ooh, we're so upset. And then they forgot the whole thing ever happened. Northam himself said that the incident showed, and I'm quoting, deep wounds in Virginia. What he did showed deep wounds in the whole Commonwealth of Virginia. In other words, Northam himself wasn't guilty of anything, blackface or a Klan hood. It was the people of Virginia who were responsible. They had the collective guilt. And that guilt could only be expiated by giving Ralph Northam more power. Because that's what it's always about, always. It's about power. When you make a mistake, it means you're a sinner and you must be damned. You probably don't have enough diversity in your office as Don Lemon. But when they screw up, it's society's fault, meaning it's your fault. So they've got you coming and going. It's pretty nice, actually. It's a good trick. Being woke means never having to say you're sorry.